Before we get into this video, please make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. I know YouTube unsubscribes people. I know people watch that aren't subscribed. Please consider subscribing, hitting that button, and joining. I upload every single day, and this Frenemies series is getting kicked into high gear now. So if you enjoy them, please stick around. Okay, on with the video. Hi muckers, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and welcome to the third video I am posting tonight. I'm really sick right now, and I'm finding comfort in just filming YouTube videos, so thank you for allowing me to just like manically post on here. I appreciate you watching if you are. And we are going to be picking up the Frenemies series. Now, we just did episode 12 yesterday, and we're doing episode 13 today because that is the next number. That is how it works. If you're aware, on my YouTube channel, if you go over to the playlist section, we are going back, reviewing, and retrospectively looking at the Frenemies series. Kind of 2 years on, very different POVs we have of it, and I'm enjoying doing this. And so yeah, we're doing this episode, which is the one that begins the pizza curse. Now, if you know, you know, and this episode is definitely the most intense one yet. Before we get into today's video, please make sure you're subscribed. Also, I'm doing a giveaway. I'm going to be giving away 5 of you $100 each on PayPal or Venmo or anything. All you need to do is go over to Twitch and follow me because I am now going to be streaming regularly over on Twitch. The username is TheAdamMcIntyre. It'll be pinned down below. I see the list of every single person that subscribes, and at the end of the month, I'm going to be announcing on all my social medias the 5 people that win, and then you can send me like your PayPal, your Venmo, or whatever. So yeah, 5 people are getting 100. And I appreciate it. And also, we've just launched the Discord, the Muckers Discord. There's like 700, 800 of you on there already, which is so exciting, and we're talking there all the time, and I'm loving it. So thank you to everyone who's been checking that out. So yes, okay, let's get into it. So this episode is called, oh, it's 111. Happy 111, y'all. It's called Trisha Quits the Podcast and Storms Out. Now, it's important to note that this episode begins with Trisha wearing a sweatshirt that reads Junicorn. Just allow that to be taken in for a second. Okay. The episode starts with Ethan saying that they're doing a second episode in 1 week because they have so much to talk about. And Trisha kind of hits him back with an attitude and is like, well, it's also because of the December ad rate, because it's AdSense. And then Trisha talks about YouTubers doing Vlogmas in December because in December, YouTubers make the most amount of money that they'll make all year because advertisers are spending more money because they want, you know, the consumers who are the audience to, you know, wait. Let me describe this in a better way. It's 111, so give my brain a little bit of time. Advertisers are spending more money in December, which therefore gives YouTube more money, which therefore gives the creators more money. And the reason the advertisers are spending more money is because they want a lot of people to see their ads in December so that people buy presents for their family and friends. So Ethan basically says the reason they're making a second episode in 1 week is because they have so much to talk about. Trisha says that's not true. Basically, it's just because there's higher money and they're both getting paid more for episode, which isn't, you know, anything wrong, but it's funny that Trisha brings that up. So Trisha says that this episode is going to be their worst yet and is going to be incredibly boring because all they're doing is reviewing makeup and skincare products, which was something Ethan wanted to do in the previous episode, but basically Trisha talked him out of doing it by basically talking about a bunch of drama. Trisha says that her audience do not want to watch this and that nobody wants to watch this, which is just, you know, trying putting your face in an ice bowl or brushing your teeth with turmeric. Trisha's like, nobody wants to see this. They want to see us talking shit, which is fundamentally why people were watching Frenemies. So Trisha was correct in what she's saying, and this was one of their, until the fight happens, the most boring Frenemies episode I've ever watched. Until they started fighting, there was no enjoyable substance of this episode. And that was because Frenemies works whenever they're, you know, talking shit, or talking shit to each other. Not when they're sticking their face in an ice bowl. Boo! You know what I mean? So Ethan says, well, Trisha, you don't bring any ideas to the table. And then Trisha combats that by saying, well, actually, I have a good one for this episode. It is that Pizza Hut are doing a triple deal, triple treat box, which is like pizza and pasta and all like this. And she's like, why don't we just buy that as the episode? And Ethan goes, that's so stupid. And then Trisha shows the box. They bring it up on the screen and Ethan agrees to get it. And yeah, they ordered 2 of these large boxes, one for the crew, one for Ethan and Trisha, and this is the beginning of the pizza curse, which is a very fundamental key thing in the rest of Frenemies history. Now, I did want to include, by the way, Pizza Hut didn't deliver to them, so they forced Moses to go and pick it up, which I love the detail because Moses leaves to pick up the pizza. Everything's fine. By the time Moses comes back, they all hate each other in the studio and there's a huge fight going on. So I just love that other piece. Now, one thing I want to bring up is it's very clear when watching this that this was the moment that Ethan pissed Trisha off. Now, I wasn't going to include this, but I am just kind of as like a little piece of context. I definitely believe that in this moment right here was whenever Trisha kind of turned a lot on Ethan and that Ethan upset something within her that then got brought up again later in the future.
And what rest options are there?
Oh, sorry. Again, I watch in 2x speed. Let me slow it down. Okay, here we go. So they're ordering the pizza, and Ethan is like adding a lot and like shouting over the phone and stuff, and it's very clearly stressing Trisha out. I need to turn my volume up. Mama, my goodness. Be a little bit prepared, Adam.
What's the difference between hand toss and pan?
We're just gonna get all original.
Watch Trisha's face.
Oh, the thick boy, huh?
Okay, we'll just do all original. That's fine. Thank you.
Just putting the kibosh on the thick.
No problem. So one box is gonna be all cheese, one pizza, the other pizza.
I want thick.
Olive.
I want thick.
Sorry. What? I'm sorry.
No, I kind of relate to, well, here's the thing. Trisha and Ethan should have already like discussed their orders before this, which they technically did as well, and Ethan's just being like annoying here, where he's like changing his order and he keeps saying like, why can't I just order what I want? They talked about it before really starting, you know, ordering it, and he's kind of just like changing at the moment, and he is being annoying here. And he's doing it to annoy Trisha. And if I was Trisha, this is something that would really annoy me. It wouldn't make me really angry, but it's something that bothers me whenever people are like being annoying and frustrating. So this is definitely the moment that then Trisha holds kind of resentment towards Ethan the entire episode, so.
Yeah.
She's
so
being like overwhelmed.
And then, like,
Let's repeat it that order.
I'm sorry.
No problem. So one box is gonna be one pizza cheese, the other one is olive, pineapple.
Thick crust on that
Yes.
one. Thick crust on the pineapple one.
Your total is 58.05.
See? Overwhelmed.
2 minutes for pickup.
Okay, thank you so much.
Excuse me?
Thank you.
Okay, bye.
I want the thick crust. Why are you controlling my pizza order?
It's so complicated.
It's not. I want olives, pineapple, jalapenos.
Alright, let me close my door first of all.
Beauty. Let's get the beauty products going.
That was my
So-
objective, and now we fucking thank you, Mom.
One thing I do want to
Let's get-
say is, again, in no way does this have any connotation to the fight that we're going to be discussing in a second at the end of the episode, because it's completely unrelated and completely different. But Ethan was trying to kind of annoy her here. It's just like friendly banter, so there's nothing wrong with Ethan doing this. It definitely, though, upset Trisha enough to kind of hold something against him the entire episode, because during the beauty products part, you know, she kind of has an attitude, and it all kind of stems, in my opinion, from this moment. But that is not an excuse for what's about to come. And again, those things that I said versus the future have no connotations of relating at all, because Trisha is about to go DEFCON 3 on Ethan. So between this moment and about here, they do an array of skincare, beauty products, blah blah blah. It's literally all boring. Like, it's not even enjoyable really to watch. So whenever we go to this moment right here, when I tell you to buckle up, please buckle up. We are about to enter Trisha fighting with Ethan over Hila, Moses, and then coming at Ethan and Hila's parenting for the now infamous comment that has backfired on Trisha about Ethan having a nanny and not being a good parent. So we have a lot to get to, so let's get to it. Now, I'm gonna let this part play and then I'll talk along.
And I said you have powder on your lips, but then you didn't get it all off, and the whole episode I was just staring at.
Can we have Hila as a guest on our podcast?
No.
Why? Because people think like I hate her or she doesn't like me or something. Like, I feel like we need to have like, because like, you know what I mean? Like, I like Hila so
She could
much.
sit in, yeah, she could probably sit in.
You just said no, now you're like,
Just a snap judgment. She's busy. Don't talk about Hila. We're cutting this part out. She doesn't want to be talked about.
Are you fucking serious?
Okay. Unpopular opinion. Based on this 15 seconds, nothing beyond this, I cannot stress that enough, nothing beyond this moment at all, cannot stress that enough, for this little part where Trisha says something about Hila, and Ethan goes, no. She doesn't want to, just don't talk about her. Cut this out. I'm on Trisha's side. For that specific part, nothing beyond this moment, but that specific part, I think that Ethan was being dramatic, unnecessary, rude, hypocritical, all those different things. Because they talked, Hila and Ethan talked in length about Trisha, Moses on their podcast that didn't have Trisha on it, all this thing. It's incredibly hypocritical for Ethan to act like this over Trisha talking about Hila, not even saying anything bad up until this moment in this episode. And I think his way of handling that was so bad. Again, this specific moment until 30:51, I am on Trisha's side. But as soon as 30:52 hits, she's lost me. And I'm on Ethan's side. But I think that how Ethan handled that, no. Don't talk about Hila. She doesn't want to be talking about it. Dan, cut this out. Oh, please. Please. That was so dramatic and so unnecessary. And for Hila to talk about Trisha, talk about Moses before their relationship was either a thing, please. It is so dramatic for Ethan to say that. But anyway, past this point, Trisha lost me. And it's one of the worst states I've ever seen Trisha in, and this fight is so bad. So again, only that 15 seconds. I cannot clarify that enough, you people that take things out of context.
I'm serious. We have to cut this.
That's fucking crazy. Like, what's even the point? She doesn't want to be talked about.
Because she doesn't like that you're always bringing her up and saying how she doesn't like you and all this shit, because it's not true, and she finds it annoying because she doesn't want people to start thinking that, like, she doesn't actually like you.
Well, she doesn't.
Well, whatever. Just cut it out then. I'm serious.
I'll talk about it. I don't care because that's so bullshit. I'm gonna stop talking about my personal life altogether then too.
Okay, whatever.
I'm gonna turn the HG podcast into boring and I'll just go down the tube to no one will care because you guys are not honest and open about shit. So you cut everything out that's personal. I'll tell you whatever. Oh, you can't even, like, mention her?
We mentioned her last episode. Because you...
that full, like, don't mention Hila thing just completely has now ruined this episode. And I think completely ruined the atmosphere of Frenemies from this point on. Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Leave it in.
No.
Every time
don't.
you go, why does Hila hate me? And she's like, I don't hate her. It's super annoying. Why does she keep saying that?
And
it's causing...
text me? Like, just text me.
you.
Be like, hey, I don't hate you. You know what I mean? Like, but when she's, like, telling stuff about Moses.
Because I always say...
don't care.
Yeah, we should cut this.
No, this was definitely Trisha fighting Moses' battles, by the way, and I am 100%, like, that's what I think right here in this moment. This is just really awkward. Don't worry, it gets worse.
No, but, like, in general, like, I'm telling you now, like, she needs to text me and just be like, hey, I don't hate you, you know? But it's like, she's telling Moses, like, oh, she says this, that.
Okay,
like,
this is all three, but I think she's just really annoyed by the situation, and she just needs some time.
What's the situation? That I
Not anything to do with you, with Moses.
What'd he do?
He, like, is always... Honestly, it has nothing to do with you.
Okay,
and I don't want to get in the middle of it.
So
but it's between him and her.
But she literally brought me up because I was like, we were watching TikTok and I saw the thing being like at 1 a.m. in the morning. She was like, what are you telling Trisha? Like, why is she saying this stuff on the podcast? Like, all this stuff.
Oh,
like,
yeah, because she was irritated because you were like, I'm not inviting mom. And she was like, dude, why? Like, my mom doesn't need to see that. And I know,
God.
but it's like, Moses, why are you telling her that you're not close to us and that you're not close to your mom, you're not inviting your mom
to the wedding? But you guys talked about Moses on the podcast well before we started this one.
But it's not true.
And he's not public. You guys were talking about him and shit. Whatever, it's so fake, and that's why H3's not what it was, because you guys are fake as fuck and cut things out.
Okay, you're like on a thing now. So.
I'm not, I just think it's...
I love that during this entire section, by the way, if you're on your phone, you can turn it to the side and zoom in on Trisha's lips that are currently stained turmeric, and in the last episode, they were stained with icing. Trisha, wipe those lips, baby girl.
Oh, fake, it's so bullshit. It's like, oh, let's talk about everything.
Hila asked not to be included, and I'm respecting her request.
Then I'm not talking about anything personal anymore.
Okay.
I want to talk about Moses, I want to talk about me.
No, as much as I disagree with how Trisha's handling this, I can actually understand her frustration here, where they ask Trisha about her drama with Moses every episode, but Hila doesn't want to be talked about, and it's like the same logic of like, why should Trisha have to talk about anything personal if she can't even ask about Hila? I see actually both sides of this. And in the moment of watching this, I don't think I saw Trisha's side at all. I completely disagree with how she's handling this, and it just gets worse and worse by the minutes go on. But that point Trisha makes about, like, why should I have to talk about anything personal if we're literally cutting out huge sections of our podcast because Hila doesn't want to be mentioned.
Like, it's just, whatever, who cares?
Should we,
What's the point? Cut it, I can cut all of it, I literally think careless. We'll just keep going.
why are you so upset?
It's just so bullshit. You guys are such bullshit. You guys are so fake, and it's like actually annoying.
Hey, why is it fake that Hila doesn't want?
Because you're like, don't get in the middle of it, but then it's also, I see that it's about me and that my name's brought up, and it's like, okay, if my name's being
It's
brought
not
up.
about you. It's between Hila and her brother. Why do you need to get involved in that dynamic? Just let them sort it out. How's that fake?
But now you're like, don't talk about Hila, even though we can talk about Moses, we talk about everybody, we talk about.
No, she doesn't like that you. Every episode we have the same conversation.
Fans.
We have the same conversation every episode. We say Hila doesn't like me. Hila doesn't ever say hi
I
to
was
me.
like, hey, can we have her as a guest? And then like, cut all that. Actually, she doesn't want to be talked about. Period. Oh, okay, she's too good for this podcast. All right, cool. I don't give a fuck.
No, because I know she does. She needs some time.
Okay, cool.
Away from all this.
Great.
I don't give a fuck. A person who gives the most amount of fucks ever.
And you go, I came in, you start off always by saying, I came in and Hila didn't greet me and she was super rude. And he was like, that's bullshit.
I totally didn't say that. When
You
did
say
I
that
say
about me
rude?
too. And she goes, that's bullshit. I'm always nice to her. I like her.
Oh
the whole
my
thing is
God.
stupid.
Never
And
said
people
that
are going to
she was
start,
rude to
and
me. I
she's,
never said she was rude to me ever.
you say she doesn't greet you nicely.
I've
like
never
that.
said that about Hila ever. I said that about you. I've never said that about Hila. Find that on the tape. Like, I hate when you say that stuff, just like last episode.
You
like,
always say it,
I can
and
tell you that
it's
this
not
is the
true.
episode and you never find it, and then you just glaze over it. You're like, you did say that. Show me where I said that in a video or anything. I never said that once about Hila. Like, that's bullshit. I hate when you put that shit in my mouth. Like, that's so stupid.
I feel like you just did it now. You talk about how she doesn't like you. And he was like, I like her. I don't want her to keep saying that.
Fucking tapes and have her as a guest on because people think she doesn't like me and that I don't like her and that's not true and that's why I think she'd be on. And then you're like, cut that. We can't talk about her. Oh, okay, she's too fucking good for this podcast. Cool. Love that. Bitch, I don't give a shit. Leave it out here. Cut it all out. Who cares? I just keep on with this.
The tension is so intense. I love that there's a full team, like a full crew in here, by the way. Everyone's radio silent. And meanwhile, Moses is on the way back from Burger King, Pizza Hut, with the triple box pizzas.
I don't care. Like,
anyone hungry?
I don't care, and that's why I'm not comfortable coming to this house because, like, I'm sorry.
I'm not sure how to respond because I feel like you're having like a.
Let's just move on then.
an
Let's not
issue.
talk about it anymore. You're the one that talk about it.
Okay, let's move on. You want to move on?
For us, okay.
It's not like that. You guys can chat off
Don't
the
talk about
show.
me, even though I'm on the fucking H3 podcast channel for you guys, getting you guys more views overall, more subscribers overall. You guys are getting 300,000 views this summer, so fuck off. Oh, but I'm too good. Don't talk about me, even though you're on my fucking channel.
So you are taking credit for the renaissance of the H3 podcast.
For sure. You guys, of course, I saw it this summer. It was fucking tanking. But, and I'm on this, and people are more subscribing. People will say, I see it all the time. Not saying I'm the whatever, but people are like, I came here because of church. Like, I found it. Because, of course, I bring new audience to this channel. So it's like, but I'm too good for it to be talked about. Even though I'm a fucking H3 podcast channel.
You're literally taking
Like, this
something way outrageous.
honestly. And then not in this house. Like, I feel uncomfortable coming here.
I don't know what to do because you're having like a moment.
I'm not. I'm like, honestly, you can just move on from it. But, like, I just hate people who think they're just too fucking good for shit.
It's not she's too good.
She has a fucking podcast. When you have a podcast, you're talked about. Your life's talked about. You guys talk about Moses and
Dude,
well before we did this podcast, you guys talked about us. Never once asked me anything.
No, it's because you always make the same comment about her.
You asked me one thing this summer, or when me and Moses started dating. You never, but you guys talked about.
I don't even know what you're on about.
Just all the
She
shit.
just doesn't want you.
She's too
not
good.
too
Don't
good.
fucking mention my name. Meanwhile, you guys can talk about whoever you want. You guys talk about me all spring without
You can talk about whatever you want too. She just doesn't like that you always come on and make the same comment.
She's not a fucking private figure. She's a
I mean, not to defend Trisha here, but the comment that made Ethan snap on her earlier was Trisha saying, can we have Hila on the podcast? So Trisha didn't say anything negative about Hila, so what he's saying there isn't technically true about the context in which we're speaking of currently. So, do I feel that Trisha is in the wrong here? Yeah. Do I also feel like Ethan's in the wrong here? Yeah. I feel like both of them are at fault here. For both how they're handling this situation with Hila. Yeah, I think both of them are at fault. I think whenever I initially watched this, I was like, Trisha's the only one at fault, and I feel bad for Ethan. Now when I watch this back, I feel that both of them are at fault in their own way. Controversial to say? Me don't know.
You have a family, it's different.
No, fuck
You're
off.
with her brother.
I won't come back here. Like, if you want me, I know you guys own that fucking building too, but like, I'm not gonna come back in this house because I'm so over it. She has a fucking podcast. She's a public figure. You guys talk shit about us. Like, I'm so fucking over it.
Dude, it's not like that.
But it is. You guys have free reign to talk about, especially me. You guys didn't even contact me. You guys were talking to Moses, but not me, and talk about me all spring. My relationship with Moses, all this stuff.
It's a family issue.
Okay.
It's between Moses and Hila.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Great.
Why don't you believe
And it was between me and Moses this spring, but you guys had to fucking chime in about, oh, I don't like it. That's what she said.
And
You
when
listened to
Moses,
it, like, I don't like it. I don't like it.
When Moses asked me not to talk about it, we stopped talking about it.
You guys didn't.
Yes, we did. After the time when we showed the text between like
all this is gonna be cut at some point. At some point, like I literally don't care. Cut it. Don't give a shit. Don't give a shit about you guys. Like I literally don't care. My Moses doesn't like you, and you guys don't like him, and that's cool. I'm happy.
And then comments like that from Trisha are just like the worst things that Trisha can be saying when you're trying to again like weaponize their family against them. It's just like such a messy situation.
you can't. That's stupid.
But it's true. It's so
that's fucked up. That's the kind of shit you say that makes Ela mad because you go, Moses doesn't like you. It's like what you're doing. What you're doing is you're causing problems in their family.
That's so not
and
true.
that's fucked up.
You told Trisha
she doesn't want any more of that.
Excuses. It's like what the? Who the fuck are you, bitch?
Hey, what? What did she say?
She said I read it. I saw it because I was on fucking TikTok.
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't read his private fucking message
when
with
I'm
his
on
sister.
TikTok and there's a message that comes up and I see it, I'm not reading it. I see it.
Yeah,
and
no, you're reading his private messages with his sister. You shouldn't do that unless he shares it with you.
And he does.
Okay, so what did he say? So what did she say?
Well, we're not even talking about it.
It's not. Look, exactly. This is what she doesn't want.
Being brought up, I'm not gonna fucking.
She's not talking about you. She's having a conversation with her brother.
All right, cool. Let's move on.
Yeah, I think we should move on. We have pizza on the way.
I think so much of Frenemies could have been different, and I think that Frenemies could have lasted to this day if they didn't have every conversation on camera. Like, if every conversation they had like 20 minutes of it before they started filming. Oh, that's the Discord. Make sure to join. I feel that the show might have been maybe 15% less entertaining, but it would have lasted longer because they wouldn't have been having these explosive fights in public. And you know what? That's an issue on both of them as well, that the fact that they are bringing these stuff up while they're filming. Trisha said at length that Ethan only really talked to her when the cameras are on. So, I mean, I don't like... Having these conversations and arguments on camera is of course going to end in disaster. So it's like...
You're just gonna forsake all the pizza?
I don't want to like come back here for real, like to the house, because I don't feel comfortable. It's our house, like I don't want to be in here.
You don't eat the pizza?
We can finish this episode, like I'm telling you.
Are you so excited for the pizza? Or
right,
not?
yeah, I can't wait.
That's sarcastic. I'm so excited for the pizza. Can we move past this?
When I have a kid, I'm not gonna have nannies, that's for damn sure.
When I have a kid, I'm not gonna have nannies, that's for damn sure. I just off the cuff, disgusting comment from Trisha. And the fact that Trisha now has her own baby, and a couple weeks ago on YouTube was like, I'm so sorry for making that comment. Like I was just, you know, I don't know what came over me. Just goes to show how much Trisha does not think. Like, where the fuck did that comment come from? Like, one of the most just bizarre things you could say.
What does that mean? You're not gonna have a babysitter when you have a kid? How are you gonna do anything? What does that mean? You're trying to attack our parental abilities?
Let's just move on.
Why would she say that?
There's no attack. I just made a comment.
There's something wrong with having a nanny?
In my eyes, yes.
Really?
We just keep doing the
What about daycare?
Daycare's different.
Why?
Daycare is, nannies are like people who come here and take care of your child all day.
Because we're working. That's how, everybody has nanny. They work. People work.
Such a privileged
take care of kids
comment.
and work. I never had a nanny. My parents, I never had a nanny.
And so you think we're bad parents? That's what you're insinuating?
I said I would never have a nanny. Did I say you had a bad parent? You're putting words in my mouth. I literally said I would never have a nanny if I had a kid.
Okay. Well, I think a lot of people have nannies. A lot of our employees have nannies. Because we both work, right? And so we have a nanny that Theodore really likes, and he spends the whole day with her. And then when she's done, around 4:30, we take over and spend... I think that's pretty normal.
Okay. Happy for you guys.
Why are you attacking our parental
I'm not. I said I would not
choices?
have a nanny if it was
And she absolutely is, and I think this is another example of Trisha saying a comment that she knows will hurt Ethan, and then doubling down on, but it wasn't a jab, it was just me telling the truth. Only if you're gonna take it as me coming for your parenting, then it is, but until that moment, you're just gaslighting me, is how Trisha acted in most Frenemies episodes when she would say something hurtful.
I'm not
But why did you make that comment then?
I'm just saying, I heard a nanny upstairs and I was like, oh, I just don't want to have a nanny.
Why did you say it?
Because I want to have a nanny. I heard a nanny upstairs.
Which she's now taken back after having her own child, by the way.
But you're clearly trying to say something about us.
I'm not at all. That's you.
Really? You
Look
just
at that.
said it out of nowhere.
The person who says that she's gaslighted the most is the biggest gaslighter of all time.
Projecting. You're projecting that.
No, I'm not. How am I projecting?
Because you're like, oh, you're attacking us.
I just think that Trisha was so in love with Ethan and jealous of everything in his life.
Attack you? I just said I have a nanny.
You think I'm a good dad?
It was a comment. I have no idea. I don't know. You seem fine. You seem good with them. I have no idea if you're a good dad. I can't say either way.
But I have a nanny.
Yeah.
And that's a problem.
I don't think it's a problem. I would just, if I was lucky enough to have a kid, I would just spend my time with the kid and figure it out where we could, figure it out. Because my mom and dad did that. My mom was a single mom, and we still never had a nanny.
She didn't work when you were like 1.5?
She worked at night.
And nobody watched you?
My brother.
Oh, well, he doesn't have a brother or a sister. So should he just be by himself?
You have family, don't you? He can't be with his grandparents?
You would think that Trisha, after maybe saying an off-the-cuff comment that she, like, kind of regretted because she started all this shit, she would have been like, okay, I didn't mean that. I was just saying it because I was hurt. No, she has to double down on it because she can't never be wrong.
They're not here.
She can't never be right.
I wish, I would let them come.
That's what family does. My grandma watched me.
Okay, so then this is the problem with my family.
Sure, put that out there. If that's the narrative you want to say, sure. Whatever you want me to say, I will. If you want me to say that.
I'm just trying to follow the thread because you're upset.
There's no thread. I literally made a comment that if I'm lucky enough to have kids, because I can't fucking have kids, that I would be with them all the fucking time and make sure I can spend as much as I can with them. And then when
Don't you think it's healthy to be away from them sometimes?
Yeah, but they should be with another family member.
So they should never be with anyone that's not their family?
I don't believe in that at all.
Seems extreme. Seems like not everybody has that luxury. You know?
Sure.
So should I quit or should Hila quit?
It's not about quitting. It's about balancing your schedules. In my opinion, you can do whatever you want. We call balancing your fucking work schedules, especially because you're both blessed to be able to like work for yourselves. Like you should. I would balance it.
So right now, Hila's at the job and I'm doing the podcast. So should I not do the podcast or Hila should not be at the?
I think both. I think
okay.
you should.
I just want you to help with my schedule. So I'm not going to do the podcast.
For my help, I'll give you your
yeah, I'm just trying to help.
For my help.
Yeah, I'm asking for your help scheduling my life from Theodore.
Right.
So I'm doing the podcast now. So Hila should be at home for sure. And then when I'm done with the podcast, she can go to the office and I'll be with Theodore.
Yeah, that's a great schedule.
Okay. And do you know what it's like being with a 1.5-year-old?
Of course not, because I don't have a parent. Right. It's a little insensitive because I'm infertile and it's a really issue that I struggle
with.
Well,
I ask is because you realize that you can't do any work when you're with.
That, you're saying, do you have kids? Or I am in my face that I don't, so.
No.
What? Trisha is so insane.
That's not what I was doing.
It's exactly what you're doing because you know I don't have kids.
No, my point was that you're assuming that it's so easy for me to be with a 1.5-year-old, not knowing how insane and like nonstop it is that I won't be able to do anything else with the rest of the day. But I have work to do. I have to work. I'm an adult. I have a job like most adults do. And what happens if you're two parents and you have to go like,
Where's your mom and dad don't want to watch Theodore? They don't want to have
dinner every
weekend with him. I know my mom would be like, oh, let me like my.
That's your mom.
Right. So I'm just giving you my perspective. You asked for my help.
So you're criticizing my mom.
You said I'm giving you my perspective.
No, I want your perspective.
Okay, that's all I said.
Well, I do wish you guys have a kid, and I'm sure it'll be great. And I hope that you quit doing everything you do in life just to be with that kid 24/7.
You would make myself.
Okay, we obviously know that Trisha now has a baby, and she has not quit her job for her little prop baby. And none of it has changed. So everything Trisha said here applied until she had her own. You would have gassed.
Oh, and you know what? That's when you find someone.
And I hope Moses quits every single thing he does to be with the kid every single moment when you are.
That's totally fine if he wants to. If he doesn't want to, whatever he wants to do.
Yeah, like everybody does with kids. Yeah. They quit everything they do.
When you have a kid, you should try to be with it as much as possible, not
be with
strangers.
That's ironic considering Trisha spends most of her time going through the Starbucks drive-thru trying to avoid her kid. Ooh. But it's okay if you can call it a YouTube video, right, Trish? Going to Starbucks drive-thru like 10 times a day?
Abby's not a stranger.
She's not your family.
Dan's not not family, but I trust him. The pizza's here.
Wow.
Should we keep doing beauty products?
Whatever you want.
All right, let's do it. What triggered you again? What were we talking about?
You're being too good for me to talk on this podcast. Don't even fucking mention her. And she's a fucking queen. Like, don't even fucking mention me on the podcast.
Right, that's why.
Know I'm a literal podcaster.
Right, that's why.
Oil,
you want to do the oil?
Sure.
The pizza's here, everybody. Woo!
So, now enter Moses. So remember, when Moses last left, it was all going good and they were enjoying reviewing skincare products. And now, Moses has entered. Enter Moses.
Woo! The pizza's here. We had a full meltdown while you were gone.
Expect another text from your sister. I'm not coming back to the house. I'm not.
No.
Moses said, what happened? You know, this is the literal meme where you walk in with the pizza and the room's on fire. This is the literal meme where you come back with the pizza. Oh my God.
I would love that pizza box.
This is literally... She's really upset because she was saying how Hila doesn't like her.
Hila says, don't talk about me on the podcast. All I said was, you should have the guest. He's like, we can't mention Hila. She doesn't want me to talk about, she's too good for our fucking podcast. Even though we were talked about, they never once insulted me at the beginning of the spring. She has a fucking podcast. I brought life to the fucking H3 channel, but Hila's too fucking good to even mention her name. I said nothing bad. I said like, we should have her as a guest or whatever. Like, I don't even mention Hila. She doesn't want me to talk about. Fuck.
Okay.
I literally don't care. Literally, I don't want to come back because I really fucking hate her.
So she always making comments about the family and how...
I wasn't! That wasn't it! I said, Hila should be guest.
See how Trisha has now started crying and is getting a lot more intense now that Moses is there? Something interesting to know.
Yes, and you're like, don't fucking mention Hila. She's the one talking about, oh, a fucking queen. You guys talk about my shit all the time, but her, don't fucking mention her name. Dumb fucking bitch.
Okay.
I think we should just end it, honestly.
Yeah, I think so too.
She's such a fucking bitch.
She's not.
And you're too, and you're a fucking cuck.
You
have no fucking backbone.
Alright, you should.
It's one of my favorite Frenemies moments. You should fucking cock, and you're a fucking cock. A cock?
Leave. We'll talk later. Yeah.
No, I'm going.
Wait, but I'm not talking later. Fucking bitch, you too. What's out here? What is out here?
It's not.
Moses, I don't know. Fucking dump me. Your family suck is what Trisha said. So she's not throwing away her relationship.
About dumping. I don't know what happened. You better just. Well, if just so you know what happened, she was talking about like how you're like my mom's. And she says like your brother hates you and your mom's not. It's like she says this stuff in passing and it really upsets Hila. So she started saying this stuff and I said Hila asked that we don't talk about this stuff anymore. So that's it. That's all that happened. No, I know. Okay, but I'm just telling you so you know the situation you're dealing with. All right. Well.
All right. It's always very hard to end these videos whenever I do these Frenemies recaps because I feel that most of the energy has been drained out of me while watching them. Even if I'm sitting in silence. I just think, okay, let me get some closing thoughts. Let me gather myself and do some closing thoughts. Ethan's original, don't talk about Hila, cut this out, was wrong for him to say. And then everything past that, how Trisha handled that, was 100 times worse. And then it just went off the rails. So there's just so many moments, like I said, that should have been discussed off camera. And Ethan and Trisha have it both, you know, made jokes and agreed that Ethan doesn't want to talk to Trisha when they're not filming and Trisha says she wants to talk. So that's also an issue and why these issues come up on camera. So it's also Ethan's fault, the same way it's Trisha's fault, not to the same level of course, but I just both think they're at fault for the way that Frenemies would always have these fights. Trisha 100 times more, but Ethan's also not innocent in these. That's just kind of how I feel about it, but let me know your opinion. We'll talk about it down below. Thank you for watching. I will see you in my next one, and bye.